Story begins with Jang's. He walks through the megacity and the sky turns dark. A light shines from the sky, but what people suppose is the end of the world. Commodity strange emerges from the sky. All people between the periods of and have a system that says that the world of slaughter is about to open and all people on the earth in that age range will be transferred to that world. At the same time, that world is a place where giant beasts and demons lie far and wide. It is full of death and peril, but also of coffers and openings. In this place you can die at any moment, but you can also gain eternity. A light comes down from the sky and transports him to the neophyte city where there's an original number of beginners in each town. Jang falls into this rustic cabin that has the Elysian blessing, but without his concurrence no bone can enter it, and by resting in the rustic house his recovery of strength and energy will double. Jang realizes that the Elysian light system is veritably analogous to a videotape game interface, and also has a particular information section and opens the public converse where everyone communicates. Most of them are spooked because they do not know what's passing. It seems that the combat power evaluation is related to force, so as the statistic increases the combat power evaluation will increase and the survival probability will increase. Right now most people only have 1 star and smaller at their limit. Both Jung's physical and dexterity and strength don't reach points, and judging by what they say the loftiest energy statistic is only points, which would be half of Jung's. Although he doesn't know what it serves, he knows that it'll be an advantage to him. The system sends him a communication depending on his statistics and personality. A natural gift will awaken. The bents are divided into 9 species, which are FEDCBASS and SSS, being ranked F the smallest and rank SSS the loftiest, and bents above SS are unique bents. Jang knows that he has a lot of bad luck, so he thinks that he will surely not awaken a good gift. On that a communication appears telling him that if he wants to awaken his gift, Sajang accepts, and appears a strange place girdled by balls. He knows that the balls are related to the awakening of his natural gift, so he thinks that an important gift must come from a special ball, so he intends to find it, but a transitory ball hits him and awakens his unique SSS ranked gift of horizonless birth. This system puts announcement telling him that the awakening of the neophyte bents has ended. Awoke as a rank F gift with rank E and 2 with gift above rank X. Jang knows that his gift is extremely rare since utmost awakened with rank F or talent, and those who have awakened with rank D gift are less than 2% of the beginners. He knows that besides him someone differently also awakened with the gift above us rank. In the public converse they say that the rank C awakened should speak to see how amazing someone of species he's. So Lu, the species he awakened, tells them that he awakened glamorous control, so everyone tells him to take them with him. Jang sees that the rank C gift is being praised, so he knows that if he announces his inflated SSS rank talent, not only will there be praise and cheers but also sweat later. Each in the world full of butchery and death, his gift is his topmost survival armament, so he cannot put that information out fluently. System sends him a communication that from now on they will be suitable to leave the rustic house and enter the neophyte city, and in twinkles the neophyte evaluation will spark, and those who don't pass the evaluation will be killed directly. The styles for leveling up are killing all kinds of beasts, demons, monsters, and carrying energy to ameliorate his body. The system sends him a neophyte armament. Jang takes out his brand. All beginners have that brand. The attack power depends on the strength statistic. 1 point of strength equals 1 point of attack power, and Jang's brand has 2 attack points, so he tests and improves it with his gift, carrying a sword brand with an attack power of 5, so he thinks of perfecting the brand again with his gift. He tries again and knows that he has a better armament than all the other beginners. He hears voices outdoors, so he realizes that everyone has formula left, so he goes out to see the world outside the house. The system forces him to go out and kill monsters because if they don't reach position they will be excluded, and they only have days for the neophyte evaluation. In the middle of the city there's a gate, that's the exit of the city. When they enter the portal they arrive at a world full of slaughter, but no bone. Long time Agon from Diary of a Townie. Someone new came to the village. He didn't leave a good print. He must have been through some suitable tough times. That's presumably why his eyes feel to have an unknown honey in them. I wanted to get relief of that man, but the Ville had accepted the foreigner. As always I decided to not watch too important about it. It had been 4 days since the man settled in the Ville. He seems like a quiet man. Many noisy reciters in the Ville showed interest in him, but I wasn't particularly interested. Roughly 10 days have passed since the man came. Now I have an idea as to what that man is doing. The kiddies who were skimming over his hedge told me that he trained with Brand every day. Looked like he'd a painful backstory. Now I know what it's. Still I'm not interested in him. Another month had passed. He still wields his brand in his yard. Have not seen him however, and still not interested. Month has again passed. The man still wields the sword, and the townies continue to chatter about it, that he was stropping his brand chops for some kind of vengeance. Might be was a departed knight or a notorious mercenary. They're nosy and I am not particularly interested. Hereafter I will go see him to exercise his brand. He has been training for half a time every day. My curiosity rose. How fast is he and how strong he might be, but know it all hereafter. I'm hugely disappointed. It might look great for reciters who know nothing about the brand, but I've seen several swordsmen working. I can tell for sure he was not great, but in reality he was average. As I walked towards the yard I allowed that there has to be a Painful story about this man, but it did not look like he'd break his problems. He's a stupid person. I really need to stop paying attention to him. A family came into the villa, sheltered mercenary, one son and son still. His son was relatively a beauty. When she smiled, it's like an angel had come down from heaven. I will try talking to her hereafter, and this is not veritably important, but the man swung his brand. Moment. It has been 3 times now. Today was a strange day. Right now beside me my beautiful woman Rama is asleep. I'm so happy. Oddly enough, the Joe who has absolutely nothing to do with me keeps popping into my head. 5 times is a long time. I who fell in love, got married and set up happiness, but that person did not change. He just stood there in the same place, swinging and swinging and swinging again. I'll have to check every day from hereafter. 5 times. 1 month the man has kept training with his brand. 5 times. 2 months the man has kept training with his brand. It has been 6 times. It's snow, but he still trained Rama, and I had a lovely child, my lovely son. Everyone give me congratulations for baby girl, but that man non-stop his training. It's have been 7 times. Time was going fastly. So moment has been 12 times. I'm not as interested as I used to be. His training is like nature's rhythm. How could that man be obsessed with it for such a long time? And 35 times have passed. Village man with his wrinkled face woke up beforehand in the morning. He was the Ville chief. He was Reme's hubby and Laura's father. Everyone in the Ville liked him for tree feeding others with a warm smile. The times have changed him. After precisely examining every niche and fissure of the Ville, the last place he went was where not numerous people visited, the house of the man who trained with a brand in his hands. But moment commodity different came into his eyes. He snappily moved as he was shocked. The old man was not particularly ill, but he was not strong enough to run. The old man stood with his wide eyes. A colossal brand was supporting the swordsman and the table where Argentine light was around him. The Ville man did not say anything until it'll end, when table where Argentine light vanished in heaven. He led him down and closed his eyes. The townie looked down at the old swordsman's body for a moment and spoke with heavy eyes. Rest in peace. Suddenly golden hair boy opened his eyes, sweating each over his body, allowing about dream he saw right now about brand man and Ville. Now we see Farah, at a state located in the southern part of the Hale area, was notorious for its trade with neighboring fiefdoms. Still there was commodity additional which was more notorious than that. It was the Kiddiv of King Baron Farah. Expert security guard spoke with a huge smile. Youthful lady Kiro. There is no other word to describe her. She's only 11 times old, and she has formerly entered and sanctioned Conjurer S. Title 1 Novitiate. Soldier asks, is she get directly appointed by the royal family? Elderly guard spoke that it's extremely rare to be sorcerer, and they're harder to find than wizards. Now that she has been named as a magician, the future of the dictator's state must have turned solid. The face of the elderly guard who spoke was full of pride, but that was all. For a while a guard with a large nose who had been quietly hearkening until also spoke. No matter how great the queen is doing, in the end the eldest son is that prince. The elderly guard, who had been all praises for the queen so far, was shocked and said that prince does not intend to get out of bed. What's so great about him? Still the big nose guard did not stop mumbling, and a fierce quarrel broke out. Both the guards' faces turned red by wrathfulness. The novitiate, who was stuck between them, was not sure what to do. It was true that youthful Lady Kirill is notorious, but there's another person who
you reach the extraction limit. So now he will have to focus on looking for the venomous 9-ring snake. During that time, the system announces the death of 7 people, but Jang could only find the corpse of 1. And unlike the attribute points of beasts, human talents are much harder to obtain. Jang obtained the enhancement of his vision with the corpse he found, and his power evaluation took him to the 2nd star. Now he can face a level 1 beast with ease. And at that moment, he smells the 9-ring snake, so he immediately heads there. But there is also another smell. It is that of a flower. He arrives and realizes that the snake is protecting the flower. He knows that for a beast to be protecting a flower, it must be of great value. The venomous snake is the most powerful level 1 beast in the beginner's territory, and also the only beast that can give energy attribute. The snake realizes his presence and attacks Jang, but he dodges its attack. The snake is slow because it has just eaten something and is digesting it. But when he attacks the snake, it doesn't do anything to it, since its scales are quite hard. And when the snake attacks him, using the enhancement of his strength, he pierces its mouth, and in the air with his enhanced strength, he cuts it into several pieces, obtaining 40 points of energy. He opens the snake's belly to see what's inside, and it had eaten a human. He takes it out and extracts his talent, which is the visual enhancement, and since he already had that talent, it only evolves to rank B and wakes up a new ability, the Eye of Truth. He uses its skill with the flower, and it allows him to see the statistics, and then after eating it, he can improve his physical ability and resistance to poison. So he eats the fruit of the flower, obtaining better resistance to physical and 100% resistance to poison. He then uses his extraction talent on the flower, obtaining the essence of the spiritual herb. When he eats it, he gets 2 points of physical resistance, so his combat power evolution reaches the 2-star limit. He knows that he can now face 3 or 4 different level 1 beasts, so he decides to defeat another venomous snake to leave the novice territory. He decides to explore the rest of the world to find a new beast and increase his power, as he wants to continue surviving in this place as a strong person. But while he's standing, he receives a surprise attack but manages to dodge it and realizes that it's a venomous snake that's being attacked by a group. Jang watches them fight and analyzes the snake with his truth eye, realizing that it has a 0.1% chance of dropping something rare, meaning that when killing a monster, there's a chance it may drop something rare, but that chance is too low. He goes back to the group and the snake is already dead and the leader reaches level 2 and they decide to go avenge their companion, who was devoured by the snake. But a girl in the group notices Jang's presence and shoots him. He tells them not to worry, he was just passing by. The girl recognizes him and tells him it's dangerous for him to be in that area alone, and she asks the leader if he can join their team. The leader tells Jang to show him his statistics and talent, and if they're not too bad, he'll let him join the team. The girl tells Jang to do what he says since he's a level 2 awakened person, so he'll be lucky to join their team. But Jang tells them that he prefers to be alone and leaves. The group finds the snake in pieces and wonders who has so much strength in the novice village to do that, and they find their companion that was swallowed by the snake. The leader knows that Jang is the one with the highest talent in the entire novice village but remembers that his team was going in the opposite direction and, based on the dry state of the blood, concludes that the snake has been like this for about 15 minutes. He sees that there are only footprints of one person and knows that whoever did this, in addition to being strong, is a lone wolf. He thinks of Jang as the only one who was in the area and fits the characteristics mentioned. So, the system sends a message saying that there is an awakened person who has reached level 3, activating the ranking of the top 100 strongest. He looks at that ranking and sees that Jang's level is not that high, so he thinks he must have made a mistake. Returning to Jang, he sees that he is in 47th place. 5 hours have already passed and 8 people have risen to level 2 and Liu Zhang has risen to level 3. So he plans to level up faster. Now that his level 1 monster extraction in the territory has reached its limit, he will have to use his time to hunt beasts. The system sends him a message saying that the first 100 people to reach level 10 will receive a chest. The chests are divided into bronze, platinum, gold, dark gold, diamond, epic, and mythical, and soon a competition to level up will begin and the first place will receive a gold chest. So Jang plans to make that reward his and starts hunting monsters. He starts with a gray wolf, but it is too hard, so even activating his talent, he can't damage it. The wolf prepares to attack and leaps at Jang, who realizes that his weakness is his stomach and pierces it, being the strongest beast he has faced. The system gives him 100 energy points and he rises to level 2 and all his statistics rise to level 10 and he gets 5 attribute points and also gets an iron chest. When he opens the chest it gives him a second level war sword. He knows that it's a very good sword but the last howl of the wolf called his full pack. Jang has no choice but to face them with his new sword and exterminates all of them and leaves the scene. The leader of the previous group can now face a rabbit alone. Reputation points are very valuable as when you reach a certain number. Jang has gotten a reputation point. Reputation points are very valuable as when you reach a certain number, you can get the blessing of the sky and only people who defeat a level 1 mutant beast can get a reputation point. But one of them says that he is only level 47 so he must have stolen the prey from someone else and thinks that maybe a mutant beast is not that great, and that he just got lucky. But then the system alerts that 4 people were defeated by a mutant boar and one of them was level 2 and they realize that a mutant beast is so strong that even someone of level 2 can't defend themselves against them. The system also alerts that Jang has risen to 5th place. They know that this growth rate is too incredible, but the leader tells them to continue hunting as they can't fall behind. Returning to Jang, he has finished off a lot of wolves and receives a distress message saying that his leader Liu has died along with all his companions, leaving only him who is trying to escape. Jang is now in the southwest of the novice village, so if he goes full speed east, he could arrive in about 5 minutes. He knows that there is a possibility that by defeating the boar, it will drop a chest. When he arrives, he finds a corpse, so he knows that the boar must be close by. But first, he extracts the corpses, getting 2 points of agility. He wonders why it didn't give him any talent, so he tries again but says extraction failed. So he goes following a trail. He sees that the boar dragged Liu's body to its cave to eat it. He knows that Liu possessed a D-rank talent, so he wants to find his body to get his talent. He goes to the boar's lair. The cave spreads a feeling of extreme danger and he is attacked by a 10-ring venomous snake. He manages to dodge it, but the snake has the ability to create venomous fog, damaging Jang's vision and several beasts appear. Although he can't see them, he has the will not to die in that cave, defending himself from the attacks and finishing them off until only the snake that attacked him from behind is left. But even though he can't see, he has the talent of smell and auditory talent with which he manages to defeat it, winning 110 energy points and an iron chest. He knows that this time he could have died and with that he rises to level 3, obtaining improvements in his statistics and the recovery of his vision. And there he remembers that when he rises in level all his wounds heal, even the loss of a limb. Jang opens the chest and is happy because it gave him something quite good and enters the portal appearing in a cave where he finds several first level herbs. But in the cave, there is a mummy surrounded by beasts and skeletons. He knows that fighting that thing could be very dangerous, so he decides to leave and challenge it when he is stronger. The mummy discovers him and tells him to stay, that he will use his flesh and blood to be reborn, and attacks him with 2 chains. With difficulty, Jang dodges it. He knows that he can't let himself be caught by the chains, but unfortunately, he is caught. The mummy thinks to be reborn with its body, but Jang manages to break the chains and escape its control. Jang defeats the beast and attacks the mummy, but he is defeated before reaching it. The mummy tells him that no human can resist its mind thorn, But Zhang laughs and frees himself from its mental power, which does not please the mummy much. It tells its boar to kill Zhang, but he tries to survive. The mummy tells him that even if he gets rid of its mental control, his condition is still not enough to be his opponent. He needs at least 2 seconds to get out of the mummy's mental control, but 2 beasts go against him. The mummy thinks that he will finally kill him, but he is surprised when Zhang kills the beasts. Previously, Zhang had defeated the beasts that protected the mummy and realizes that the mummy can no longer move, and since it no longer has any beasts to protect it, Zhang finishes it off with his sword, obtaining 210 energy points, 10 free attribute points, and for having completed the hidden system evaluation, he rises to judge level 1. Judges are in charge of killing those types of evil beings that violate the laws of heaven, and only one is chosen among a billion people. With this achievement, he increases 20 strength points, 20 agility points, and 20 mental power points, and now by killing evil beings, he can obtain judgment points. Although he doesn't know what they are used for, he knows they are sure to be useful. At that moment, the system shows him the divine seal ability that, with the appropriate talent, can be fused to obtain the 3rd level beast mastery ability. With this information, Zhang is excited because if he can obtain it, he will be able to command a large number of beasts. But when he tries to obtain that ability, the system tells him that he does not meet the conditions. It also sends him a reminder that when waking up the D-rank talent of mental strengthening, he will be able to use the beast mastery ability if he uses a beast mastery pill at the same time. Also, when waking up the C-rank talent of 6 senses connection, he will be able to activate the beast mastery ability. So, Zhang thinks that the conditions to learn those abilities are quite easy and knows that he has to learn at least 1 D-rank talent, which is mental strengthening. And about the beast mastery pill, he wonders if the mummy's corpse will have any of that type and begins to search it. But as he only finds trash, he curses and kicks it, and as he did not find anything, he begins to extract it and obtains the D-rank talent of mental strengthening. Then he begins to use the talent of mental strengthening and fuses it with the divine seal ability, and the abilities are successfully fused, and he obtains the 3rd level beast mastery ability. But even though he knows it will not be easy to use, he experiments with it and collects level 1 dragon blood fruit, level 1 elderberry, and level 1 heart nourishing herb. He knows that with mental strengthening, he can directly control the storage ring and can collect and store objects, which is quite useful, and maybe in the future, he can take things in the middle of a battle and thus obtain a surprise victory. Although it's a shame that if he had the pill, he would have been able to control the beasts, and not just herbs and weapons, which are immobile things. He also extracts the D-rank talent of soul flame control from Liu, the person who died from the mutant boar, and also extracts the speed strengthening talent from the other person who died. Zhang knows that he finally obtained a lethal talent, as when he becomes stronger, he will not need to fight hand to hand, as he will be able to annihilate the enemy with just the flames. He cooks some of the beast meat he killed and sees that in the chat channel, everyone is talking about things to level up. It seems that the novices in Village 911 are leveling up in passing scene. One of the novices reports in the chat that he reached level 3 and returned to number 9 again. In the chat, they are surprised that a level 3 is incredible and also say that he has surpassed Zhang, and with him, they now have 10 level 3 people in their village. But another novice says that if they didn't notice that when Zhang reached level 3, his name turned gray and his ranking kept falling. So a novice asks if something happened to Zhang, and they respond that if Zhang had died, his name would have disappeared. While Zhang looks at the chat, he thinks that he did not die, he is just in another dimension, and as he has been traveling everywhere, he is resting in that place while he recovers safely. And as he eats a little of the meat he is cooking, his physical condition recovers quickly, as he is the first person to discover that by eating cooked meat, he can quickly recover his physical condition. He obtains 1 reputation point. And the system sends a message about Zhang's discovery to all players, so now they want to find food to recover their physical condition. But the system tells them that only by eating hot food and water can they recover. With raw and cold food, it doesn't work, so the novices are worried because they don't have a fire talent to eat something hot. And that's when the Super Space Exchange channel opens. Then Zhang, while eating, places a new product in the supermarket of exchange. 3 pounds of meat for 1 beast corpse. And since Zhang is the first to use the Super Space Exchange, he is rewarded with 1 reputation point. So when Zhang's product advertisement comes out to the novices, they start to trade the beasts they have killed, and in that way, Zhang no longer has to go looking for beasts, because the others are working for him. He sends the first message through the public chat, saying that the cooked meat is limited, so he can only give it to those who arrive first. So people are surprised because it is the first time he sent a message. But another novice appears, who sells meat 50 pounds for 1 level 1 equipment, although that is too expensive for the novices, so even if they have level 1 equipment, they wouldn't give it to him, because if they want cooked meat, they would buy it from Zhang. So he puts a new advertisement where he sells novice weapons of level 1 for 3 spiritual herbs, 1 spiritual fruit, or 1 level 1 equipment. With that advertisement, the novices think that he has a master craftsman talent, and they trade him a power bracelet for a level 1 steel sword. And with that, he is happy because that level 1 equipment gives him 7 points of strength, and as his strength attribute is the lowest among the 4 he has, that equipment helps him compensate that a little. And at that moment, a strong explosion occurs, and the system sends an emergency announcement because Novice Village 137 has activated the betting order and forcibly entered Novice Village 911 and activated the resource bet. In that bet, all the resources of the losing side will be reduced to half, and all the people will lose 20 attribute points, and the winning side will have their resources doubled. and will gain 20 additional points. The first village to have a level 5 awakened person will win the bet, so the first one to reach level 5 and win the bet will gain 30 additional attribute points and a platinum chest. The system also tells him that the chat channels of the two towns are beginning to interconnect, and during the betting period the ranking channels of both towns will be temporarily blocked. When Jang sees this information, he is speechless because he knows that the consequences of losing are quite serious. Then the system sends him a new announcement that says that the chat channels of the two towns have interconnected successfully and people from both villages can enter the opposite chat, but they will not be able to talk to each other. The person responsible for making this bet is the Baron of Village 137, and as he is a vampire, he sent the bet at night because it is when he becomes stronger so that he can face a level 4 beast alone. The system starts the bet and Jang thinks that the vampire can kill a level 4 beast alone, and although his progress is faster than Liu Xuan's, it is definitely much slower than the vampires. So, he has to quickly level up to 5 and he has to go to a high level beast area to hunt. He knows that he has visual enhancement that allows him to see at night as if it were day. He also has the olfactory enhancement which allows him to sense hidden beast tracks and avoid them in advance. Additionally, before the bet, the system rewarded him with a map of the beast activity areas which will allow him to go to the area of the beast he wants, and he goes to the level 4 beast area and quickly finishes them, but a level 5 golden-eyed humanoid beast appears, but he defeats it with one attack and extracts it, obtaining 2 points of strength attribute. This being the first time he extracts a humanoid beast, that means that level 5 and higher beasts will no longer have a purely animal form but will begin to have a humanoid form. At that moment, he smells a familiar odor and wonders if there will be spiritual herbs and fruits nearby. So he continues on his way as ahead is the level 6 beast area, and if there are higher level beasts, the spiritual fruits will also be so. He wonders if the level 6 beasts look more like a human, it would be a problem if they become similar beasts like the mummy. But when he arrives, he hides and analyzes the spiritual fruit, which is a second level dragon blood fruit that is born after absorbing a little bit of dragon blood. And when it's consumed, it greatly increases strength, agility, and constitution. But after consuming, there is a 0.1% chance of obtaining a small amount of the real dragon blood, although it will be problematic to have it as it is being watched over by a level 6 explosive bear king with a 60% chance of releasing something rare. But as he thinks, the beast senses his presence and attacks him with a blow, and as the beast heads towards him, Jang thinks that he was careless as he didn't think it would be so fast despite its large size, and he couldn't even dodge it. The beast tells him to not get in its way and go away, and it will spare his life. So Jang tells the beast that if he leaves, it will spare his life too, and with those words the beast gets angry as Jang is only a level 4 human and it attacks him. Although Jang counterattacks and charges against the beast, cutting off one of its heads, and with that the beast gets even more furious as it killed its younger brother. So Jang thinks that its neck is more mature than he thought as he could only cut off one head with all his strength, and at that moment the beast uses the ability Enrage for 10 minutes. And with just one step it destroys the whole floor, and he realizes that it has the dragon roar, although it's quite weak as it only obtained the dragon nature by staying close to the dragon fruit for a long time. But under the effect of madness its defense is even stronger, and although Jang attacks it, he can't do any damage to it. And the beast charges at him, but Jang with the sword of the bloody wolf joins it with the power of fire and delivers a critical blow and thinks that with that he killed the beast. But when he approaches the beast, it attacks him, but he cuts off its head, obtaining 500 energy points, and as he was the first to kill a level 6 monster he obtained 2 reputation points and now has 6 points in total. Also the beast dropped a bronze chest with a 98% chance of dropping a second level item and a 2% chance of getting a third level item. And Jang knows that these beasts are getting stronger, so he can't let his guard down until the last moment. And when he opens the chest, he obtains a second level item, the King Bear armor with 25 defense points and 100% resistance to fire and ice. And when he absorbs the King Bear, he obtains a Ranky bloodline improvement talent. He then eats a dragon blood spiritual fruit. But when he eats it, it starts to digest in a painful way. Then an illusion of a flower appears to him, but Jang doesn't let himself be controlled by the flower illusion and starts to eat the dragon. The dragon tells him to wait as it's a real dragon and can teach him the secrets of dragons. But Jang tells the dragon that he doesn't care if it's a real dragon, and he eats it, coming out of the illusion, and with that, he successfully consumed the dragon blood fruit, strengthening his blood and gained 5 points in strength, 5 points in agility, and 5 points in constitution. Also, 0.1% of his blood turned into real dragon blood. After that, he sits to look at his statistics, and after eating the fruit, he feels a lot of heat in his body and a lot of desire to sleep. But he can't sleep as he has to reach level 5 to win the bet, and for that, he only needs one more monster and he can win the bet of resources. But while he's focused on looking at the statistics, a beast with a bloodthirst is behind him, passing the scene. The vampire is already level 4 and will reach level 5 before dawn, and tells the other novices of his village that they only have to wait for his victory. And with that, the other novices begin to praise him as they believe that he is the strongest of the village. 911 is only level 3 pure. But at that moment, the system sends a message announcing that Novice Jang is the first to reach level 5. So the Novice Village 911 is the winner of the resource bet and sends congratulations to all the members of the Novice Village 911. And with that, they will all obtain 20 attribute points. So everyone thinks that Jang is amazing, and a mountain of resources appears in front of the novices. One of them was fighting with a blood rabbit when another appeared. But fortunately he gained 20 attribute points, otherwise he would be dead. And many resources also appear all over the village. Meanwhile, in Novice Village 137, all the members of the village will lose 20 attribute points and half of all their resources. So all the novices blame the vampire for that, and as he threatens them, they all decide to kill him. Going back to Zhang, a novice tells him that he just obtained a bet order and thinks of trading it with him for a first-level steel sword, and that is an exchange that he can't refuse. And by obtaining the order, he can control the initiative of making the bet, and he won't have to rush to kill monsters like this time. So he accepts the proposal, and the system announces that the resource bet order only appears once in each village and only the person with the highest level can use it. And after activating the order, the person who activated it obtains double the prize. But if they lose, they get double loss. After Zhang sees the information, he realizes that the reason he was offered it, not only because he couldn't activate it, but also because the person who activates it can lose double. Now all the novices in the chat are excited to know when Zhang will activate the resource bet, but with that, Zhang feels pretty great since unexpectedly leading everyone to victory has given him more prestige, and sends a live message saying that they should wait until it's more daytime, and that everyone is in a better state to activate the resource bet again. With this information, everyone is pleased and agrees with Zhang's decision, although he doesn't want to postpone things, as with his mental power, even if he doesn't sleep for 3 consecutive days, he wouldn't have sleep. What he really wants is to delve into the dangerous level 10 beast area and then launch the resource bet, since level 10 beasts are the most dangerous but also give the most energy points, so he will level up faster, which will give him more assurance of winning. But he finds it strange that, even though the system map marks that as the level 10 beast area, even with his sense of smell talent, he can't smell any beasts, and wonders what's happening. While he checks if the system is damaged, he falls into a hole that appears out of nowhere. While falling, he thinks he has to find a way to stop the fall, otherwise, if he falls, his bones will break and he'll be incapacitated. So he uses fire to land, and as soon as he landed, he felt an aura of a powerful beast he had never felt before and realizes that this is the true level 10 area.